Hey guys, it's John McGuinness from Living La Jolla, La Jolla's premier real estate show. You've reached our quick tips segment where we answer real questions from our real audience. So if you have a question about the real estate buying or selling process, comment below or shoot me a DM. Don't forget to subscribe. All right, today we're going to answer one of my favorite questions from my investor, buyer, and sellers, and that is all about 1031 exchanges. So what is a 1031 exchange exactly? Well, it's another word for a tax-deferred exchange. Now guys, remember, when you sell a property and you make a profit on the money that you originally had paid, that's called a capital gain. And if you're a living person, you know that the IRS loves to tax your capital gains. A 1031 exchange, however, allows you to sell your original property for a profit and buy a new investment property for equal or greater value and not have to pay any tax on that until a later date. So say you buy $1 million investment property and then 10 years later you sell it for $1.5 million. Congratulations, you just made $500,000 in profit. Cha-ching! Now, a 1031 exchange allows you to buy a $1.5 million property with that money and not have to owe any tax on that extra $500,000 you just made, yet. This is an important concept because you're not avoiding the tax, you're just deferring it until a later date. Sounds easy? Well, there are some complicated points that you must achieve in order to successfully conduct a 1031 exchange. First, your property must be held as an investment property. That means you can't live there for at least 2 years. Second, when your initial property closes, you have only 45 days to identify which property you're going to buy to replace that one. Third, you only have 180 days to do the exchange, including the 45 days that you may have used to identify your properties, in which case you will only have 135 days left to buy the new one. Now, what are all the downsides to this? Because there are downsides. Well, the number one thing is that you don't have access to the money that you just made. You're taking your profit and you're rolling it into another property. So you really can't touch that money or use it for anything else. Unless, however, you take an equity line of credit out of the new property later on. We'll cover that in another episode. Another downside is that you don't have access to your original capital either, because you had to use that to buy the new property along with the profit you just made. So that money you were thinking you were cashing out on, not yet. Finally, since you're deferring the tax to a later date, there's no one that's going to guarantee you that the tax rate later on is going to be less than it is today. You may just be better off cashing out today and taking the money and doing something else with it. By and large, however, a 1031 exchange is a great way for you to build wealth by allowing your money to continue to work for you during the course of your lifetime. All right, guys, that's the basics of 1031 exchange. If you have any other questions about the buying or selling process, comment below or shoot me a DM. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm John McGuinness with Living La Jolla. We'll see you next time.